mean, for those of you that have not watched Jonathan Majors, he was a budding actor, or is a budding actor rather, out in Hollywood that recently got caught with a sexual. I guess it wasn't assault. It was, or maybe it was just battery. I think it was just DV. It was domestic violence battery, and I guess I don't really have to explain too much of who it is, but just in general, of course, he lost all of his roles. He was getting ready to be the bad guy for the next phase of Marvel as King the Conqueror. And this guy sets up and just does the craziest shit. He keeps bringing up Coretta Scott King, of all people. I don't have an issue with him trying to compare Martin Luther King's wife and how she held him down during a time period where everybody hated him. But I mean, what a weird dynamic of how he keeps bringing this up in interviews. It's really fascinating in general. And I know that Lee got to actually watch the clip. I didn't get to see the clip, but what I did know was that this wasn't the first time that he brought up Coretta Scott King.
Oh man, and Bernice King, she
ripped him a new like motherfucker, like what is this? Right, Nick, you're right, nigga. Like she's just this shoulder for this nigga to cry on and was uplifting him. No, she was doing the work. Basically, she was on the ground too doing the work. Like, what are you talking about?
So I look at it two ways. I think Jonathan Majors, because I think what Jonathan Majors was doing is like, hey man, I'm not just an actor. I am a drum major for Black actors. I am a drum major for Black America. And one of the unfortunate things about being a Black person who has clout, respect, a high position, whatever the case may be, in a white dominated field, you carry the torch for Black people, whether you want to or not.
Yes.
I currently work in a field that is dominated by white men. So I am the representation of Black America to a lot of my peers because in their personal lives, they don't deal with Black people.
Right.
That is an enormous weight.
In his case, he's not the only. Obviously, he's not the only Black actor.
No, but he's one of them. And here's the thing that I'll say about him and his situation. I was having a conversation, a group text, and I had a separate conversation with one of my friends, J.E. Money, you know him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I think women who aren't Black, like if you're Black and you date outside of your race, that's fine. I'm married outside of my race. My wife is Salvadorian. But I will say that those women do not understand the weight that you are carrying for Black people that you don't know, and the perception that your perception is you represent Black people to those people. So there are certain things that you maybe should not do, maybe can't do, and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that it's fair, but LeBron James was born to be 6'9" and have the athleticism of a fucking 6'1" guy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we're not talking about life being fair. We're talking about the cards that were dealt. When I play spades, I can't get mad if I get a bad hand. I just got a bid board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's some of that. But what you have to do is, and here's my initial knock on Jonathan Majors. If you want to be the face of Black America, hey, man, Trae Young is number 2 in East guards voting. That's great.
Right.
He deserves to get in because the coaches won't vote him in. But anyways, if you decide if you know that you're in that public light and you decide not to be with somebody who's not aligned with the way you need to be represented, even though they take great care of you at home, bro. You gotta live with that shit.
Right.
Like, and I'm tired of niggas bringing up Coretta. I'm tired of niggas bringing up goddamn Michelle Obama, because I don't think these people are doing the adequate work of understanding what Coretta was, what Michelle Obama was.
Yeah.
When J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI started sending them tapes home of what Martin was doing on the road, she still held it down.
Right.
And she still did the work because the work was bigger than the problems that we're having. And we don't know the problems that they were having because them tapes didn't come out.
Exactly.
I mean, they were still tapped. I promise you, they were still tapped. But those tapes didn't come out. I'm reading a book on and off about Michelle not wanting Barack to run for president. She didn't want to deal with that shit. She didn't want to have their whole family life exposed to the world.
Yeah.
Their flaws, their problems exposed to the world.
Everything about them. Basically, their life is known by everybody.
But she took a step back. She held it down. I don't know what Martin and Coretta's situation was, because Martin is the son of a preacher of a prominent church in Atlanta. So he's a little bit different. But like, Michelle was the breadwinner for a little while. And Barack is like, hey, nah, I'm doing this other shit. And it's like, excuse me? Like, when you're not, and for those of you who may be single, those of you who may not have a partner that you live with, or those of you who may not be the breadwinner, when the non-breadwinner comes in talking about making like big changes for the family, hey, whoa, what the fuck you talking about? I'm not saying you can't do this, but don't bite the hand that feeds you. Now, I don't want this, and I'm providing right now. Motherfucker, you ain't making shit.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. You can't say that. You can think it. You can feel it, but you can't say that. But
His
it's like,
situation was so different. He's brought it up in two different cases, and think about the two different cases that he's brought it up.
yeah, the phone call, the conversation on the phone with old girl, or the conversation they got recorded, like, you got to be a Coretta. You can't be out here getting drunk. Hey, nigga, you should have vetted her better. You got to, if the girl like to go out and party and get drunk, and you want a certain image,
you knew that before she did it. That's probably how you met her.
Come on now. Like, let me be transparent. There are arguments that I will have in my household with my wife, and I'll go, fair. And some of these arguments, I go, man, you knew this when you met me. You knew this before you dated me.
That sounds like the Joe
I
Smith
told
thing.
you this.
That sounds like you remember the Joe Smith thing? That was like a hot story
Yeah.
for a second.
Yeah.
And she literally told him, he's like, well, you knew this about me when you met me.
Bro,
She was a stripper.
I let my wife know straight up, hey, I now have Falcon season tickets. I don't plan on losing my Falcon season tickets. I am going to home Falcons games, come hell or high water. And when I go to those games, I'm gonna have some beers. I'm probably gonna take some shots before the game.
Yeah.
More times than not, I'll be responsible enough to sober up and come home. But if I have one too many, we have a little good time after the game, I'll be home in the morning. I'll be home before I gotta go to work. I ain't gonna miss work over this shit.
Right.
And you know it. I've fallen asleep on your couch before you went to bed. You wake up, I'm gone.
Right.
Now, you can be upset by it, but dog, you ain't blindsided.
Right.
I told you what it was. You knew what it was.
Yeah, but then the second time he brings it up, this nigga's sitting there. He's getting grilled, basically. I mean, I didn't see the interview. Were they grilling? Was it more like the R. Kelly type interview?
It was,
because that's what the way they make these sit down.
It was a puff piece, but he ain't Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't swagging on that bitch. Like, and I heard this on another platform. You know, Marvel, ABC, Disney, Good Morning America. Was it them trying to, Cat Williams? Was it them trying to take his public lashings in order to get back in good favor with the guys upstairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was a nasty interview, but like the way he used the Martin and Coretta thing, it was just so disrespectful to who they are in Black culture, who they are in American culture. And it's like, hey, big
Well, you're
dog.
not MLK. Like,
Yeah, fuck.
and
Like,
more importantly, MLK is not. Yeah, of course he praised his wife. It's his wife, right? Like, and you know, whatever. But like,
I don't think he had them conversations with Coretta about how to act in public. I think he vetted that before he buried.
yeah,
Like, bro, you over here mad? And based on them text messages and shit. I believe Jonathan Majors was putting hands and foots on Shorty.
well,
I don't
even the
think
video, even the video. Now, in that video, it looked like he was running away from her. So
yeah, but he threw her ass in that
maybe
car.
he was. I don't know. I mean, he lost. So, like, I guess technically that is what was happening if he lost in court.
Well,
That's
what
what
he
that's.
lost
It
what
was
he
beyond a
lost
reasonable
in
doubt
court
that he was doing it.
in court, what he lost on was his actions did not directly mean to harm her.
Yeah,
But I think there's some stuff that happened that went unreported based on like some of the conversations and him talking about well, you know how this is gonna look. Like, don't go to the hospital. And she's like, well, I'm gonna tell them I fail. It's like, bro, ain't nobody believing that shit. Bitch, you got
yeah,
your ass whipped.
yeah. You definitely. You know, that's kind of. It reminds me of a. I think I brought this scene up before. Rush Hour. I might have actually even said it when it first came out. This nigga Chris Tucker was talking to Don Cheadle as Kung Fu Kenny, and then he pulled out the gun and he looked at it. He's like, "I'll shoot you and say you fell in the kitchen."
But yeah,
like, nigga, what? How you gonna say this nigga fell in the kitchen and you shot? He's got a bullet on him.
but yeah, it felt like some stuff like that.
Yeah,
And look, man, I'm anti-domestic violence.
yeah. Nobody's. We don't stand for DV.
No, I don't stand on that, bro.
You can walk away. You can leave the relationship. There's so many other things.
You can walk away, you can leave the relationship if you understand that that's the partner you're with and that's the person and that's how they act in certain situations. Well, if you still want to be with that person, avoid those situations the best that you can. But like, I'm not judging is what I'm getting at. I don't accept domestic violence, but I understand it happens. I do believe that there are one-offs. I do believe that there are people who in the moment, I do believe there are people who don't know how to control their emotions, but they are also active. Like once it happens, they actively try to get better.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to deal with that, hey man, have at it. I'm not telling you you're wrong for what you're dealing with because I'm not in your home. I don't know the highs, the lows. I'm saying I ain't gonna put my hands on nobody. No, I ain't doing that. That's fucked up. It's not right.
Well,
but
we all have to put your hands on someone. And the answer is yes. But at the same time,
Parlay Pete, I ain't put my hands on nobody since 2017. And I was outside of a bar bumming a cigarette and I got hit inside of my head because I was standing with the wrong people who had smoke earlier in the bar that I had no idea about. And then I did what I had to do. I hopped in my Uber. I went home.
Yeah.
No. So like, I never feel the need to put my hands on anybody.
Well, unless because at that point, if you need to put your hands on somebody, you probably need to kill them. I mean, that would be the reason why you're putting your hands on. There's no reason to ever have to fight. But certainly in the case of you and a woman, and particularly the woman that you're with or you're courting or you're married to or you're dating, like whatever you want to call it.
If I ever feel the need to put my hands on my wife, I'm going to wait till the next morning. I'm going to say, hey, we need to go talk.
I'm headed to get this paperwork filed.
We need to talk about what we need to do to make to properly co-parent.
Right.
Like that's the conversation for me. If I ever feel that
I shouldn't be getting this angry.
Yeah, no,
Nor should you.
I'm not comfortably living with somebody who's going to make me this angry, and I'm also not going to do this. Like I can't do this long term. You know, we
Yeah.
talked about the soft landing spot. Maybe the timing's not right,
Yeah.
but hey, bro, this is what we're working towards.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Majors, you're a goof. You're a dweeb. You are appropriating black culture. But I know that you had to do what you needed to do to keep your standing with Disney, and look forward to seeing you back on the next Marvel movie that I won't watch.
They already dropped him.
Okay.
Nigga, he's not about to be Kang the Conqueror in these movies.
Well, who the fuck is gonna be Kang the Conqueror?
So, well, they've
they're
been
gonna do
lining up people. Apparently, of course, they think it's going to be a black person again. And the thing is that it doesn't divert from the story either, because apparently he has multiple different looks. So,
Yeah, I heard that on Joe Budden's podcast earlier this week.
the person they were bringing up, and even though I think he kind of already has declined, but the person that they talked about was what's his face? My man that was in he's in Star Wars. He also did damn it. The movie they cloned Tyrone. That guy, that dude. Oh, John Boyega, or you know what I'm talking about. They cloned Tyrone. Did you watch that movie?
No.
It's actually good, bro. It was kind of good. Like, it was kind of good. Kind of good. I watched it. I thought it was kind of good. I understood the premise.
Oh, John Boyega, African nigga.
Well, wouldn't he kind of fit a little bit, just like a Jonathan Major, a little?
Hey, Jonathan Major's an ugly motherfucker.
He is, but he got Megan good, brother.
How good is
facts are facts, right? I mean, I get it, he's rich, but like, you know, that makes everybody look better.
A
little bit of money makes everybody look better.
You know what's not gonna happen, Parlay Pete?
What?
Black Hollywood's not gonna stand in solidarity with Jonathan Majors, and I don't blame them niggas.
You don't think he can get casted in whatever Tyler Perry's got cooked up?
Oh, yes. Tyler Perry doesn't cast A-list actors.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He cast the legends and niggas like Shamar Moore and put bad braids on their head. What we talking about?
Why is Shamar Moore always this gardener, this poor gardener with the shirt off somewhere?
Because the only thing Shamar Moore got going for him is his abs. You know, Shamar Moore has a tramp stamp, right?
Does he?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I'm a big Criminal Minds fan.
He shook his tail feather in what was it? The fucking Soul Train, like the 2000s edition to Hot in Here. Or no. What's underlay, mama, EI.
He was in there shaking ass.
They showed him like doing like that thing. It's like the craziest video. It is a crazy video. Look it up. Seriously. It's crazy.
I will. Hey, Parlay Pete, we didn't talk about
Draymond.
Yeah, let's give Draymond a little bit of love and we'll get these picks, get the fuck up out of here. I'm like,
okay.